This is a really interesting lens. If you're looking for an ultra-wide angle lens for your APS-C Canon camera, this $450 lens checks a lot of boxes that you might not expect. Actually, it is a lot better than we expected too. This is the Tokina ATX-i, the new version 11-16mm F2.8 lens for Canon. Let's get started. There's one question I need to answer before we look into the lens. From all the user reviews that I went through, this ATX-i version is exactly the same as the ATX, which is the previous generation. The ATX-i version has a new housing and the overall image quality is very similar to the previous one. Let's talk about the new lens. First, very amazing build quality. The lens is mainly made out of metal and it is much heavier than it looks. The zoom and focus rings are very well built and it has the perfect stiffness that gives you a very accurate zoom and focus pulling. It feels a lot like my Sigma 18-35mm f1.8 lens. To me, it feels much more premium than other lenses that are $450 or more. All the markings on the lens are very nicely done as well, which makes it a lot easier to know what settings you are at. I think they save the cost on things that don't matter as much. For example, you don't get a lens pouch and the packaging is simple but very effective and protective. It reminds me of the Tamron lenses. For me, that's totally fine because I just need the lens, to be honest. The size of this lens is also an advantage because it is very compact for an ultra-wide zoom lens. This is perfect for gimbal use because a smaller lens is always easier to balance on a gimbal. I film a lot of dance videos, so having an ultra-wide angle to have everyone in the frame in focus while using a gimbal, it's a perfect match. Talking about using the lens on a gimbal, both zooming and focusing are done inside the lens, so it does not really affect the weight distribution of the lens. That is perfect because you don't have to rebalance the camera on the gimbal when you're trying to zoom in or out. Let's talk about the most important thing, image quality. This lens is very sharp. Here are some samples at f2.8, f4, all the way up to f12. I'll let you be the judge. This lens has a constant aperture of f2.8, so you don't have to worry about the aperture changing while you are zooming in and out. F2.8 is also very good for low-light photography and videography. Here are some samples comparing a f2.8 to some other apertures in low light condition. At f2.8, you will be able to blur out the background if the subject in focus is far away enough from the background. That's just how ultra zoom works. Usually people get this kind of lens hoping to get more things in focus like landscape or, for me, a group of dancers. Since this is an APS-C lens, that means 11-16mm lens will give you about 18-26mm of angle equivalent to a full-frame lens. 18mm is definitely very wide already. It is a very nice wide angle without heavy fish-eye distortion. That is perfect if you are in a tight space and you want to capture as much as you can. Here's an example of how wide it is. Another good use of this lens is real estate photography. I don't have a big house, but you can kind of imagine how it works. Since this is an ultra-wide angle lens, we have to talk about distortion. When I was testing the lens, the distortion even at its widest angle at 11mm is very minimal. Chromatic aberration wise, I didn't notice anything significant at all, which is very nice, especially when you are using this lens for videos. Talking about using this lens for videos, the most shocking thing I found out about the Tokina 11-16 f2.8 lens is that it is almost a parfocal lens. Maybe because it is an ultra-wide angle lens, so most of the things are in focus. But when you zoom in and out, usually your focus point will change. But this lens stays focused on the same point almost. That is crazy because parfocal lenses are usually very expensive, and this one is just $450. Besides being almost parfocal, another very impressive thing about this lens is the focus breathing. It has almost no focus breathing at all. When you're trying to focus on the furthest point to the closest, the lens does not go zoom in and out at all. There are a couple of very minor things that I wish they can do differently. First, the autofocus noise is very loud. If you're planning to use autofocus when you are filming, make sure you don't use the onboard microphone or any microphone close to the lens. It will pick up the noise. Here's a sample of how loud the autofocus is, recorded by the onboard microphone on my camera. It is loud. Another thing, it's also related to autofocus. The way to switch the focus from auto to manual is by pulling the focus ring in and out instead of using a switch. It sounds very smart, so you can switch between modes without having your hands or hand off the focus ring, but it is actually not that great. Sometimes you can't really push and pull the ring, depends on the focus point you're at. It feels like it is kind of stuck, and I didn't really want to force it because it feels like I will break the lens. What you have to do is to turn the focus ring by a little bit so you can smoothly push in and out on the focus ring. Trust me, it feels scary. That's pretty much it. To be honest with you, I don't really have too many complaints on this lens. If you think the zoom range of 11-16mm is too short, there is an 11-20mm f2.8 version. I didn't get that one because I have an 18-35mm lens already, and the 11-20mm is a little bit more expensive at $529. I'll list them all in the description below. I just realized on the Tokina website that they literally used this lens on a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 6K for video sample. That's exactly what I'm using this lens on. That's crazy. That's it. Those are my thoughts on the Tokina ATX-i 11-16mm f2.8 ultra-wide angle lens. I would highly recommend to have this lens in your kit because 11-16mm is definitely needed for a lot of situations. At $450, I just can't think of anything else with the same or better quality than the Tokina lens. I think this will be my new favorite lens, especially when I'm filming outside again. We hope this video can help you decide whether or not you should get this lens. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.